Fellow comrades of the revolution, I bring you revolutionary greetings on this 4th day of May 2018. This is Amabo Cecilia Benue, spokesperson for the AGC. I would like to use this opportunity to thank you all for your courage, for your bravery, and your determination for the fight for the liberation of our homeland. Even though La République du Cameroon continued to invade, harass, and brutalize our people and turn our communities and villages into a war front or war zone, we've continued to show strength in the face of adversity. We've refused to be intimidated by their constant harassment. Rather, we've shown more courage than ever before to defend our homeland. And for that, I want to say thank you all for your bravery. In the past weeks, we've continued to witness tension mounting in various communities across Ambazonia, notably the situation in Munyenge, the continuous killings, the indiscriminate shootings in Bello and other parts of the southern zone cause for our collective concern. Our compatriots in Munyenge woke up on the 1st of May to witness one of the many arsonic acts perpetrated by the colonial forces when they burned down homes, properties, to which it led to the burning to death of a woman in her home while asleep. The carnage in our territory continues and keeps increasing on a daily basis. The genocide has become systematic as we rise, and we must rise and act to this accordingly. We've also seen the horrifying images of our young men who were indiscriminately shot at on their legs as they struggled to flee away for safety in nearby bushes due to invasion of colonial forces within their communities. Others were shot and abandoned in the bushes to die, but the gods over the Ambazonian struggle saved their lives, and today their legs have been amputated. This harassment has continued. It continues as the people in Bongé were also visited by the colonial forces. We saw colonial forces breaking into people's homes, stealing, looting, brutalizing their occupants, raping the women and girls within that community. The systematic harassment continued as the subject of Ndu were also seen by the colonial forces, entering into their homes, burning down homes, stealing, demanding for money from subjects of that community, extorting money that is not theirs, raping and molesting young girls and women within the villages. Moliko Boya was also seen witnessing its own ordeal from the colonial forces. Students of Boya University in Moliko are said to have been adopted and taken to unknown destination by colonial forces, beaten and taken away. We also saw videos of hundreds of our people fleeing their homes in Bafia to nearby bushes because of uncontrollable shooting and killings within their communities. Soldiers invaded their communities, killed, raped, maimed, and subjected their properties to nothing. We've heard of reports of 4 civilians who were brutally murdered in a Kondo Titi by the blood-sucking colonial forces of La République du Cameroon. Ambalanders, the act of intimidation, systematic burning of homes and properties, systematic killings, forceful displacement of people, forceful arrest, detention, tortures, and forced disappearances are all acts that constitute ethnic cleansing. And all these are considered as war crimes, crimes of genocide, crimes against humanity, and are punishable under international law and the Geneva Convention. We saw the incident that took place in Azzi. We saw how colonial forces invaded that municipality and set the Azzi local market on fire. Let's not forget that Issa Chiruma Bakari, the spokesperson for La République, often comes out to defend these colonial forces, telling the world that they send these people within our communities to protect civilians and not to kill, to burn down properties, to rape, to maim, to abduct, or to destroy, or to steal. But we had them on camera setting our village market ablaze. We will use this against La République du Cameroon. Oh yes, we will use it against them in the international court. Let's not forget, these are evidences that they cannot dispute. The AGC operates on a tried approach, which includes targeted diplomacy, community mobilization, and of course, self-defense. Let's not forget that to be considered an independent and a sovereign state, you need three very important things. These include your boldness to declare your independence, the boldness to defend that independence, and a strategic mindset to reach out to other countries that will help you recognize the independence you've declared. On this note, I would like to bring to your attention that the State Department of the AGC, headed by Dr. Larry Ayamba, have been involved in vigorous targeted diplomacy, contacting nations across the globe that will recognize our independence, contacting and talking with institutions, organizations in Europe and across the world that will listen to the plight of our people, that will help and enable Ambazonians to carry the brutal regime of La République du Cameroon before the International Law Court. These are all acts ongoing behind the scene. And in due time, the result will be brought to your attention. I also want to let us know that the AGC State Department has also created the UMPO Ambazonia Working Group. That is a working group that will constitute members of all the constituents movement that make up this revolution. The State Department has therefore contacted all the constituent movements to send in representatives that will sit and take charge of the affairs of Ambazonian within UMPO, who will deliberate and make decisions on behalf of Ambazonia, that will handle the Ambazonian case at the international level. So we are therefore encouraging all the bodies that have received this invitation from the State Department of the AGC to tender their representatives to sit and deliberate on issues of Ambazonians. Let's not forget that the readmission of Ambazonia into UMPO is a collective gain for Ambazonians, not just for the AGC. So if you want your voice to be heard, send in your representative. I also want to use this opportunity to thank the Human Rights and Humanitarian Affairs Department of the AGC, because they've been doing tremendously well. They've been involved in many activities that are supporting our comrades who are held in the dungeons of Yaoundé, Boya, Bamenda, and other places, including our people who have now been made refugees in Nigeria. The department has been supporting our brave soldiers in the Yaoundé prison with food items, basic medical support, and the same thing goes for the Bamenda and the Boya central prisons. Let me also use this opportunity to thank all those who have been donating and supporting the department to meet the needs of these people. We should not relent our efforts to support these people. We should not relent our effort to support our comrades, because if they are held today, if they are incarcerated today, it's because they stood against the oppression of La République du Cameroon. They believed in a free Ambazonia and they stood to fight for a free homeland. So relent not to support them wherever they are today. Fellow Ambalanders, Romo holds it that the United Nations will soon intervene in the Ambazonian case. I call it Romo because I do not have any official statement from the United Nations or its affiliates stating their intervention in the Ambazonian case. However, we have to be on our guard. We also want to use this opportunity to remind the United Nations that the people of Ambazonia will be willing to sit and talk with them, so long as their mission is to address the root causes of the conflict in Ambazonia, to correct the mistake they made, to finish what they left unfinished in southern Cameroons. We will be willing to sit on the table and talk with them. I would also like to address the issue of dissemination of information on the social media. Comrades of the revolution, we have to be aware of what information we circulate out there, or what information we read from the social media or news outlets. We should be able to filter what is right for this revolution. Information that do not carry evidence or do not speak the truth about the revolution, we have to discard such, because it does nothing but bring distraction for the progressiveness of this revolution. I would also like to use this opportunity to call on Ambazonians back home. If we must hold La République du Cameroon accountable for all the crimes and the atrocities it's been committing in Ambazonia, we have to archive every human right violation, every human right abuse that is ongoing within our territory. The extrajudicial killings, the beheading of our comrades, of our brothers, the raping, the looting, the destruction of properties. All these things, we have to document them. Wherever you are in your community, when you see them destroying down our properties, take them on camera. Let us have them on camera, and we will use it against them in the international law courts. Let us know how many people have been disappeared, how many people who have disappeared, people who have been displaced from their homes, people who are now refugees, those that have been killed and buried in bushes, in mass graves. Let us all know. If you have not seen your brother, report it. If you've not heard about your neighbor, report it. Let us have it on archives, and we will use it to nail them down in the international court. They will definitely pay for the impunity that is ongoing in Ambazonia. They will account for all the atrocities in our homeland. So we call on you all to rise and provide us with this evidence. If you see it happening in your neighborhood, contact us. I thank you all as we look forward for a faster, free homeland. Short live the struggle and long live Ambazonia. God bless you all.